Hello and welcome again. In the previous video we learned all the basic concept about Terraform. In this video I wanna add more complex stuff and practice that all that we has learned so far. Okay, so let's go and play with this. Okay, we already deployed our instance, okay? And now I wanna test the connection to our EC2 instance. I know that the connection will fail because actually when we deploy this instance, we don't create a security group. Here let me try the telnet to this IP. Okay. Okay, let's try, but will fail. Okay, that is why I wanna create the security group for this instance. Let's cancel this and let's go to our web browser to pick the code for our Terraform block. Okay, this is the instance. You see, it's the same IP address that we test. Let's write here Terraform security group. Okay, let's click here. Okay, now let's scroll down to pick the block. Okay, this is the example to create the security group. Let's copy this and go to our Visual Studio Code. Let's paste the code. Okay, let's start changing something. First, let's change the name of our resource. Okay, let's put the same name, app server SG. Okay, let's put a name like app server SG. Okay, let's change the description now. For security group. Okay, we need to change the VPC ID. In this example is that we saw in the last video. We are using the resource ID, but in this case we will not use in this moment that. That's why I am here in the console try to get the VPC ID that we already have in this account. Okay, here is our VPC. Let's copy this ID. Now go back to our Visual Studio Code and replace this string with this ID. Now change the description for our ingress rule. This is my IP. Change the port 443 for 22. From 22 to 22 because this is the only port that we need to allowed. Now I need to figure out what is my current public IP. Let's open a new tab here. I have this URL. Here is my public IP. Now let's replace this here. All the string is in W code, okay? Always remain that. In this case, we are using IP version 6. That is why I put this argument in blank. I think we are done with the security group block for now. Let's add some argument in our EC2 instance block, because we need to create the relation between the security group and the EC2 instance. Let's start adding the argument to assign the subnet. Okay, let's add a space here. And if I remember well, the argument is subnet ID. Okay, we need to pick the subnet ID from our AWS console. Okay, I put the code and let's go to our AWS console. Let's pick here. Okay. Oh, let's filter for our VPC. And let's pick this public IP, okay? Copy data here. Now let's paste here in this argument. We need to add the VPC, the security group ID, but I don't remember the argument. So let's go to the Terraform registry to check the documentation for our the EC2 instance. Okay, here is the documentation. Okay, let's scroll down to find the right argument. Oh, let's filter this. It's VPC. Security here. This is the argument. Let's copy this. And now let's go to Studio Code. Okay. And now we can copy the resource ID from our security group block. Okay. Remember, we need to separate the block type and the resource name with doc, and we need to pick now the attribute. The attribute is the output of our resource. Here, checking the documentation, here is the attribute. The attribute is ID. That is why I will put here the ID. Yep. I think we are done. Let's test this by the Terraform validate command line to see if we have any error in our code. This is very important and is a good practice. Okay, Terraform validate is to check the syntax of our code. Okay, now we have some error. This is because we need to add the argument prospect-less ID, security group, and self in our ingress and egress section for our security group. Okay, let's copy this here just to be sure that we will write the correct argument in our rule. Okay, I will leave this in blank because actually I don't need it, but as you can see, those arguments are mandatory for this block. That is why we need to put it. We have self. In the case of the self, we will put the values false. Let's organize this. The same thing for the grass section. Okay, let's copy this to save time. In the grass rule, we are allowing go out to anywhere. Okay, that is why you see the value 0.0.0/0 for IP version 4 and the /0 for IP version 6. Okay, put the description that is mandatory in this block too. Let's put something like unbound. Okay, let's run Terraform validate again and see what is this okay? Okay, we have a new error. Oh, it's because we need to declare this is a server block, no a single IP. Okay, let's run this again. Okay, we are done. So now we can run the Terraform apply to see to apply our change. I think the resource will be deleted and then created again. Why? Because we are changing the subnet, and the subnet force the replacement of the source. Oops. Let's see what this error mean. Okay, I think probably is here in our VPC. Okay. Okay, I think I know what happened here. We need to define this attribute like a list. For that, we need to add this symbol and now close it. Let's run Terraform validate again or apply. Let's apply to see what happened. Here we go. See, now will destroy one and create two resources. Let's see why. See, the subnet is forcing the replacement. Okay, just approve this change. I will speed up this video just to don't waste time seeing the video while Terraform is destroying and then deploying again this instance. I will see you in a few minutes. Okay, Terraform and to deploy the instance in our security group. Now let's check in the console. Let's go to EC2 service. Okay, it's here, it's ready. Okay, and now let's go back to our Visual Studio Code to test the telnet. Here we have our public IP, 32.201. Okay, 4222. Okay, done. See, now we are able to connect to our EC2 instance over the port 2022. That means that our security group is working properly. This is all for this video. In the next section, we'll start learning how to work with Terraform modules. Okay. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video and this course. Let's see in the next video. Bye bye.